you're training your dog and you're using food as a reinforcement, you want to be very aware of what you're using to reinforce those actions because those calories can really add up. So here are 3 things that I do when I am training my pups to make sure that I am actively giving them a reward without it potentially causing some issues in the future. Now, these are all food-based rewards. I do a lot of other types of rewards as well, but we're talking food-based for this particular video. So the first thing I do is I actually use their dog food, and I will just take a handful, I'll put it in my silicone pouch that I will attach to myself, however, and I will be able to just grab one piece at a time and reinforce whatever it is that I'm doing. If they've done especially well, maybe I'll give them a couple pieces of food. Now, this can be extra on top of the food that you typically feed them, or it can be part of their meal. So you just take whatever food or whatever kibble you're feeding them and you give them a little bit of that and a little bit less at mealtime later on so that they have that whole completed amount throughout the course of the day. This is going to allow you to give them a little reward without it adding up too much and training them to like whatever food they're eating just a little bit better and to see it as a reward. Now, another thing that I really like that I just recently discovered was the Zesty Paws training bites. Now, I have used Zesty Paws for their allergies, their allergimmune bites, which I've done videos on before because my girls have very serious skin, eye, and a little bit of ear allergies as well. And it's been really helping, especially poor Gemma, with how itchy she is with those skin allergies. And so I wanted to try this because it was part of the Zesty Paws brand. These are 1.6 calories per little bite. You can see these are just tiny little bites. They're bacon flavored and they smell very strongly, which is really, really nice because whereas the kibble or the dog food that I'm feeding my girls as rewards doesn't smell as strongly, they have to see it, they have to be motivated to want it, this they can smell. And if I need to, I can wave it in front of them and they can very strongly get a whiff of that and they're very aware that I now have that in my possession. So this is really good, especially when you're teaching come, when you're outside trying to get them to come inside. I really like those because they're small, they're easy to get, and they smell really good to my puppies. My pups have, now as I'm getting them back into the world of treats, we had taken a very big break because we had a little bit of a food aggression with my pups. So we took a very big break from treats. We just went with their food. And now we're going back into treats. They pick these over the other brands in terms of taste at this point. And I mean, I'm sure they like bounce back and forth. They very much liked another brand until I introduced this one and then this one took priority. So this is really nice because it's just 1.6 calories per treat with this one. They're all slightly different sized, but they're little heart shaped, so it's really cute. And you can even kind of mix those two things together. So they're kibble food and then these treats. So the higher and higher value rewards are going to be really important and really helpful to you as well. Now, another thing that you can be doing is vegetables. Now, you have to be aware of which vegetables are okay. There are certain things that are okay for dogs, certain things that are not, certain things that you should probably cook, certain things that they can eat raw. You do want to be aware that with most vegetables, you should be cutting them up into small pieces because, as they say, vegetables are very difficult for dogs to digest or harder for dogs to digest. So if you're giving them just like a whole carrot, that's going to be harder because they take bigger chunks of it for them to process than if you had cut it up and had them eat that. So for the most part, you're going to want to take some celery or green beans or carrots or whatever, do your research. And you're going to cut them into small chunks and then put that in your silicone pouch and be able to use that as a reward for your dogs. Now, you do have to be mindful that you don't overdo it on the vegetables. You want to keep that at a lower percentage of their overall food content for the day, just because again, you don't want to overdo it. They'll get probably a little gassy. It's not as good for their digestive system, but they don't have calories for a lot of those things or very little calories. And it's healthy for them to get some of the vegetables and different types of nutrients. So talk to your vet on that one. Make sure you know what's going to work for your dog and how much you should be giving them, how much you should be spacing it out, and how much you should rotate from one to the other. So it shouldn't always necessarily be the exact same thing, but you can kind of go through and see what's going to be the best fit for you and use that as training treats. So you can use their kibble, their dinner, their normal food. You can use the Zesty Paw bites. You can use other training brands as well, but I really like that one. And you can use vegetables for this as well. Now, if you are doing like different types of training, different types of things where you're more evolved in the training that you're doing, you can of course do bigger treats because at that point you're not going to need as many. So you can do things like ice cubes as treats. My girls love ice cubes as treats. You can, if it's wintertime, you can give them little snowballs as treats. There's lots of things that you can do outside of the realm of typical dog training foods that's going to make it a little bit easier on you and a little bit less of that caloric value to make sure that you can give them more without it stressing out their bodies. And as always, check with your vet depending on your dog's age and size and breed on how much of these things they should be getting and what is too much so that you do this the proper way. And make sure you're not just solely relying on food as a motivator for your dogs to do things. They should be getting praise rewards. They should be getting other things as well to make sure that they are well-rounded in this and not fully depending on getting a food reward every time that they do something, and they're not doing it to please you. They're not doing it for time with you. They're not doing it for other motivational reasons. Keep them well-rounded so that you can have a dog that is behaved as best as possible as you're going through your training. Go ahead and drop your questions down below and follow along as I continue to help you navigate the world of being a dog parent to make this your best life with your pup ever. We'll see you in the coming episodes.